Good evening. This evening I'm going to be reading from Proverbs 6:16 to 19 in the ESV. There are 6 things that the Lord hates, 7 that are an abomination to him: haughty eyes, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, a heart that devises wicked plans, feet that make haste to run to evil, a false witness who breathes out lies, and one who sows discord among brothers. Okay, we're going to talk about those. And I've written out some definitions to help me a little bit because it's kind of hard to remember all those things. Okay. I looked up haughty, and haughty means to be proud and arrogant, conceited, egotistical, having a sense of self-importance. And eyes can be appearance or look or mannerism and confidence, like somebody proud in his own eyes by his own estimation of what he perceives as his own greatness or superiority. It's like, you think you're great, and everybody else should think you're great too, that kind of a thing. Somebody who is like the Pharisees, too proud to bow his knee to God, but he may be somebody that puts on a show of righteousness because he is proud and he wants everybody to think he's that's a really super righteous person while he's sinning in secret. That's what the Pharisees were doing. So God hates that. He hates that because all these things are opposed to him. They're contrary to him. They're contrary to his character. They're an exact opposite of who he is in character. But he hates these things because they hurt people. People who are super proud, like the Pharisees. The Pharisees walked all over people all the time. They didn't care. A lot of people who are very proud and just conceited, their own reputation is more important, and they want everybody to think that they're great, and so they may go around falsely accusing other people of things so that they look good by comparison. They may be people who lie about people all the time. We're going to get into that subject too. But anyway, God hates these things because these things hurt people and they hurt God's people. Okay, the next one is hands that shed innocent blood. Oh, no, I missed a lying tongue. That was the next one. So lying tongue, and then where it says down in verse 19, a false witness who breathes out lies. It's the same type of subject. So God hates. I hate lies. I think that's one of the things I hate the most is lies. It's one thing for somebody to sin against me. It's another thing for them to lie to me. I feel like lying is just such an offense. Somebody feels like they have to lie to me. I prefer people tell me the truth. I hope they tell it to me in love and kindly, but I don't like lies. Lies are not only so deceptive, but they're very hurtful because it says to the other person that I'm keeping something from you, I don't want you to know about, or I'm talking about you behind your back, but I'm going to be nice to you to your face. It is telling the other person that you don't trust them, or that you don't want them to know what you're doing, and so you feel like you have to lie to people, to put on a show, to put on a pretense. But I'm going to tell you, people who really know you, they're going to know when you're lying. If they don't know, then they don't really know you. But if they really know you, you can lie all you want, but they're going to see through the lies because they see your patterns, and they've seen your patterns. and so they know the patterns, so you can't fool everybody, definitely you can't fool God. But so many people lie to cover up, other sins because they're sinning in secret. They're sinning behind people's backs. They're doing things against people they don't want them to know about. And they could be pulling tricks on people. They could be setting them up for something. They could be plotting. That's another one, the plotting the evil. And I don't want to get ahead of myself. Uh, but along with that is this false witness who breathes out lies, and that's another part of it is people who are sinning in secret and they don't want other people to know about it will oftentimes present false witness against people who they think might know what they're doing or that might find them out, and so they don't want to be exposed, or it could be because of their haughtiness and their pride. Again, they want everybody to think well of them, and so by comparison, they're going to put other people down and they're going to make up things about them. But a lot of times the false witness comes because they feel like they may be in danger of being found out or caught, and so they will lie about the other people, to sometimes in advance, just to set the stage so that people will not believe the other person, but they'll believe them, so they'll believe the liar and not believe the truth teller. And this happens. This happens all the time. Happens in the government. It happens in the church. People will lie in order to protect themselves. Basically. Okay, so he hates lying. And then he hates hands that shed innocent blood, and innocent blood is people who were undeserving. Though I don't think anybody's deserving of being killed by other people. That's God's place to judge, and to bring forth that kind of judgment. But definitely those who are not fighting against other people. They're killing them. A lot of times they're killing them because they are Christians, because they're giving testimony for faith in Jesus Christ, or because they are sharing the gospel, or they're confronting sin. Could be people who, they're just following the Lord, or they're just doing what they normally do, but they present some sort of threat against the one world government, or the beast of Revelation, or those in power and authority over the world, who find believers in Jesus Christ a threat, and so they murder them, and sometimes people murder other people because they don't like them. They're jealous of them, like Cain and Abel kind of a thing there. Okay, so God hates that because obviously that hurts people. A heart that devises wicked plans and feet that make haste to run to evil. The one side of that is they're devising these wicked plans. So it isn't just that they fall into sin, they're plotting it out ahead of time. They're actually creating evil and they're carrying out the evil and they're making haste to run to evil. And a lot of times that evil is against other people for a lot of different reasons, because of pride, because of, other people are walking with the Lord and they're not, like the Cain and Abel kind of thing, or because they're wanting to control a certain place or a group of people or something, and so they kill off those who they feel like are going to stand in their way. Sometimes they just kill off the old people, or the people who are handicapped. That would be me in both categories, because, we're not going to be productive workers for them, those kinds of things. But people create all kinds of, people cheat on their spouses a lot of times with just the viewing, of sexually explicit material habitually in order to get their high, from that, or having extramarital affairs or flirtations or whatever. There's all kinds of evil that people do to one another, and God hates that because that hurts people. And then it talks about a heart devises evil, and there's a couple of scriptures in Luke 6 and Matthew 15 that talk about how the evil comes from within our hearts, and it's out of the heart that all these things come. So when people are doing all this evil, it's a heart issue, and unless their hearts are transformed, they're going to continue to do evil. And then the last one is those who sow discord. And to sow is to propagate or to scatter, to spread. And discord is conflict, dispute, friction, and strife. And very quickly, I just want to say sometimes Christians who are following the Lord are accused of this because they're following the Lord, and because that's going against the marketing schemes of those who are trying to market the church to the world, But sowing discord has to do with things that are going against the Lord, not against man's schemes and plans, okay? So I just wanted to make that clear, that what God hates is the discord that goes against the will of God, okay? Now, that's what I had to share today, and until the next time.